Are you finding the right people for the right jobs? If someone steps down, what are you going to do? Do you have a plan? Are you making sure that people are connected and engaged and really understand their impact on the organization? Are you ensuring that people see a way that you're going to make sure that they're successful? And if you don't, to any of those things, why not?
People are at the core of what we do. Cornerstone On Demand.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Economic Times and Cornerstone On Demand HR Tech India Forum on the theme Talent Platform to Realize Your Potential. Over the past decade, talent management initiatives have become one of the top priorities within global organizations. While the business's value of talent management investment is often recognized discreetly through increased efficiency, organizations have frequently found it challenging to quantify the actual business impact or return on investment of their talent management initiatives. It is to elaborate on this and shed light on other related aspects that I would like to invite on stage Adam Miller, founder, president, and CEO, Cornerstone On Demand, which is a world leader in cloud-based applications for talent management. The company's solutions help organizations recruit, train, manage, and connect their employees, empowering their people and increasing workforce productivity. Since starting the company in '99, Adam has led Cornerstone through nearly 14 years of consecutive growth, transforming it into one of the world's leading software-as-a-service companies. Over to Adam to tell you more about Cornerstone and how the company can help you address talent management-related matters. Adam.
Welcome, everyone. So why talent management? We today have 20 million users using Cornerstone across 2,500 clients to empower their people. Why has talent management become such an important topic for people all around the world? When I started the company, the idea of talent management did not exist. People were focused on operating and automating discrete processes within HR. You had people in the company that were focused on learning. You had people in the company focused on recruiting new employees. You had people in the company that would manage organizational capability. Often we talk about this as performance management. These were all discrete functions in the organization. They were all managed by separate people, and to the extent there was any technology at all, it was done in silos. You had systems for recruiting, systems for learning, systems to manage performance. But then came the advent of cloud computing. And with cloud computing, you suddenly had the ability to holistically manage an employee. Why does this even matter? Well, if you think about it, every organization in the world, no matter how large or small, no matter if based in India or Mexico or Paris, why are they all concerned about talent management? Because everybody is trying to identify their high potential employees, people who could do more, do better, become leaders in the organization. And then they are trying to develop those employees so that they can in fact realize their potential. And finally, they want to make sure they retain those employees. So all organizations, no matter if it's a for-profit organization or an NGO, are trying to find the best people, either inside or outside the organization, develop them to take on more responsibility, and ensure that they retain them so they keep contributing to the organization. Well, to do that, you have to holistically view the employee. You can't simply manage one aspect of the employee at a time. You have to be able to have tools to assess the potential of the employee. Understand, how is the employee performing? How are you assessing that employee? Are you assessing them based on competence, assessing them based on goals, assessing them based on skills, or some quantifiable result, or maybe perhaps a combination of all those things? Once you've assessed them, how are you developing the employees that are in fact high potential? Are you doing on-the-job training? Are you doing formal classroom training? Are you training through online medium? Are you doing it on PCs or on mobile phones? And are you doing it once a year? Are you doing it only when the employee first joins the company? Or are you instilling a culture of lifelong learning where the employees are continuously being developed throughout their entire career? And lastly, how are you retaining the employee? Well, probably you have to give them a vision as to what their career is going to be. You have to be transparent about how you're developing that employee. You have to have career paths so that the person has the ability to actually realize their potential. And you have to make sure you're rewarding the employee so that you're paying them for their performance. Too many organizations do none of these things, and they certainly don't do them all together. They're accidentally recruiting the employees. It's the person who happened to walk into the office that day. They have no consistent way of measuring the potential of the employee, much less their performance. And they have no consistent way of developing the employee on an ongoing basis. And as a result, it's almost impossible to pay the employee based on how they're performing or know which employee should be moved into which position. And as a result, as we move into the modern economy with the modern global workforce, where technology is supreme, where millennials have grown up with technology at their fingertips, and there's extreme demand for experienced labor. Even in places like India with massive labor pools, the number of people that have experience to do the specific jobs with the specific skills are few and far between. And so there's massive competition for experienced, high potential people. And so if your company isn't doing these things, they're probably not going to be able to be competitive. And even if you got lucky and you have these people for some short period of time, you won't be able to retain and develop the people and keep them as they become future leaders in the country. So Cornerstone's developed a system leveraging cloud technology, leveraging mobile technology to deal with the entire employee life cycle, from sourcing the candidate to onboarding or inducting them as soon as they join the organization, connecting them with other people in the organization in virtual ways, the same way people are connecting today socially through the internet, managing training and development on an ongoing basis, assessing performance and potential and competence, and training people based on gaps and based on potential, paying people based on performance, and using all of that data to manage mobility in the organization. This is the modern way of managing the modern employee. And because we organically built the entire suite, it's easy to use, just like it's easy to use a mobile app or a consumer internet site. No user manual required. And so we're seeing demand for this all around the world, in every industry, in every region. We have users today in 191 countries using the system in 42 languages. We see demand for giant multinationals and for very small businesses, because at the end of the day, they all have one thing in common. They all have people in their organizations. And these people need to be managed holistically, need to be given clear objectives, clear opportunities for development, and clear ability to grow their careers and realize their potential. So I'm happy to join this presentation with you today. Hopefully we'll get to talk about some of the differences I've seen around the world, both in terms of region and in terms of industry, and talk about best practices around talent management. So with that, I'd like to invite up the panel.
Thank you so much, Adam, and good evening to all of you, and thank you so much for joining us. Adam, I'm going to ask you to take a seat there.
Okay, great.
Right, good evening, everyone, and that was clearly, I think, just hearing Adam talk, and it's clearly led to a lot of room for thought, especially for all of us here at Indian Companies. Let me introduce myself. I'm Paramita Chatterjee, Senior Editor with ET Now. And what we're going to try and do this evening is really try and understand how the process of talent management works as far as Indian companies are concerned, what are the challenges, and we've got panelists from different spheres of industry to come and share their insights. So let me introduce them to you. Vaiti Swaran S. Vaiti joins us. He is now heading Manipal Global Education Services, which is their global entity. Vaiti, please join me on the panel. And Bipin Kumar Tibrewal, who is the Airbus Group CFO in India. Of course, Adam, thanks so much for staying on, and we're going to hope to gain some insights from you as to what we can do to really energize and identify the right kind of talent. I'm going to ask the panelists to be mic'd up. Adam is already mic'd up, so am I. You can just keep that at the back. Right, are we good to go?
Yep.
Okay. All right, good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the special presentation brought to you on ET Now. The subject of discussion is talent platform and realizing your potential. And we are bringing to you experts across the field, both from within India as well as outside, to really understand why talent management is such an important requirement for all companies, no matter what the scale, and especially here in India, because whether it is the boom in e-commerce companies, we all know and read the headlines about the kind of talent crunch, because they're actually having to bring in expats from overseas because they're not able to find the right people as far as the e-commerce platform is concerned. Of course, we also have our software services, and Vaiti here, being a former Infosys veteran, will share with us his insights of what established large-scale companies really need to do, and of course when they change, have a sort of course correction, so to speak, and look at newer pastures, how they need to reorient that whole process of talent management. And Bipin Kumar, who's been an Airbus veteran, Bipin, you've been there, you've been serving as a CFO since 2007?
Yeah.
Okay. So Bipin will also explain to us, especially when it comes to the cultural ethos. We have a certain ethos, and when you go and work for a multinational company, you clearly also see the ethos of the multinational company, the geography that it presents, and how does one really traverse those challenges that it represents. And